Leave your like and share today's video with your friends. Your subscription is also very important and would greatly help our channel. Let's go! Vanya Hargreaves, the white violin. Initially, she is seen as the only member of the Hargreaves family without special abilities. Growing up in the shadow of her extraordinary siblings, Vanya always felt on the sidelines, which led her to develop an introverted and insecure personality. She was constantly reminded by Sir Reginald Hargreaves, her adoptive father, that she was just an ordinary person, with nothing special to offer the world. This perception of herself was shattered when she discovered, in a moment of crisis and manipulation, that not only did she have powers, but they were incredibly powerful. Vanya possesses the ability to convert sound waves into destructive energy. This power is initially triggered when she plays her violin, but as she gains more control over her abilities, she becomes capable of manipulating them without the instrument. When her power fully awakens, Vanya transforms into the white violin. She can generate massive sonic energy blasts, capable of destroying entire buildings, causing earthquakes, and even altering the environment around her. The extent of her power is immense and nearly uncontrollable, especially when she is overwhelmed by emotions such as anger or resentment. This makes her an almost unstoppable force, capable of causing large-scale devastation with just one note played on her violin. In addition to the physical destruction she can cause, Vanya's power also has a profound impact on her own mental and emotional state. Her transformation into the white violin symbolizes not only the revelation of her latent potential, but also the manifestation of years of pain, rejection, and feelings of inadequacy. Upon realizing the extent of her abilities and the damage she can cause, Vanya struggles internally with the fear of herself and the desire to be accepted and understood by others. Number 5. The boy. Number 5 is one of the most fascinating and enigmatic characters in The Umbrella Academy. He is the 5th child adopted by Sir Reginald Hargreaves and, unlike his siblings, possesses the appearance of a child despite having decades of life experience. 5 has the power to manipulate time and space, allowing him to teleport and time travel. This power is both a blessing and a curse, giving him a great advantage in combat, but also exposing him to dangerous and morally complex dilemmas. From a very young age, Number 5 demonstrated an exceptional aptitude for temporal manipulation. Driven by curiosity and a desire to test his limits, he attempted to time travel without his adoptive father's consent. However, this experience did not go as planned. 5 ended up trapped in a post-apocalyptic future where he had to survive alone for many years. During this time, he developed survival skills and became a highly trained assassin. The loneliness and brutal conditions of the future shaped his character, making him more hardened and pragmatic, with a dark sense of humor and a somewhat cynical mentality. His return to the present is one of the central twists of the story. He returns in the form of a teenager, despite being mentally an old man, carrying the weight of years of experience and disturbing knowledge about the future. 5 is haunted by the vision of the apocalypse he witnessed and is determined to do whatever it takes to prevent it, even if it means making morally questionable decisions or alienating himself from his family. In addition to his time-traveling abilities, 5 is a master of teleportation, allowing him to move instantly from one place to another, giving him a formidable advantage in combat. He is agile, fast, and lethal, with superhuman reflexes that make him nearly impossible to catch or defeat in a fight. His ability to appear and disappear in the blink of an eye makes him an extremely dangerous opponent, capable of eliminating multiple enemies before they realize what's happening. Diego Hargreaves, the Kraken. He is the 2nd child adopted by Sir Reginald Hargreaves and is known for his impulsive personality and constant desire to prove himself. Diego has a rebellious spirit and a strong will to be a hero, which often puts him at odds with his siblings and adoptive father. He is one of the most skilled members of the Umbrella Academy when it comes to physical combat, being highly trained in martial arts and the use of weapons, especially knives. Diego's power is particularly interesting. He has the ability to alter the trajectory of any object he throws, especially knives, allowing him to hurl them with almost supernatural accuracy. This talent makes him a dangerous and versatile combatant, capable of hitting targets with incredible precision even when they are moving or hidden. Additionally, he can dodge bullets and other projectiles with extraordinary skill, which, combined with his knife prowess, makes him a formidable opponent in combat situations. Beyond his knife skills, Diego has exceptional physical endurance and enhanced reflexes, traits that make him an effective and resilient street fighter. He also possesses the ability to hold his breath for extended periods, giving him a significant advantage in underwater situations or when air is scarce. This ability is closely tied to his nickname, the Kraken, which references his capacity to survive and fight underwater like a legendary sea monster. Diego has a deep sense of justice and a desire to protect the innocent, which often leads him to act independently, away from the team, or even against orders from his superiors. This independence makes him frequently feel like a loner, struggling to be accepted and respected both by his family and by himself. His relationship with his adoptive father is particularly tense. He has always felt misunderstood and underestimated by Sir Reginald, who often criticized him for his impulsive and emotional nature. This difficult relationship contributed to the development of his identity as a vigilante, seeking to prove his worth as a hero outside the shadow of the Umbrella Academy. Diego is also deeply emotional and loyal to his family, despite their differences. His tough exterior hides a generous heart and an unyielding will to protect those he loves, even if it means risking his own life. His determination and courage make him a vital member of the team, someone who is always willing to do what is necessary, even if it means facing his own demons or challenging what is considered morally right. Allison Hargreaves, rumor. Allison's power is extremely versatile and powerful, as it allows her to influence the thoughts, emotions, and actions of others, as well as alter physical aspects and even rewrite reality around her. For example, she can make someone forget memories, feel emotions that weren't there before, or even change the course of events simply by saying something like, "I heard a rumor that you forgot all about this," or "I heard a rumor that you are my best friend." However, this ability is also incredibly dangerous, as the capacity to manipulate reality raises deep ethical and moral questions about free will and consent. Although her power may seem advantageous, it comes with a heavy emotional burden. Allison has struggled with the moral dilemma of using her abilities to manipulate the lives of others. In the past, she often used her power for personal gain or to ease complicated situations. This includes influencing her career as an actress and even manipulating her own husband and daughter to control family situations. The use of these powers, especially in personal contexts, had significant consequences and deeply affected her relationships and her perception of herself. This internal struggle of Allison is a central point for her character development. She is haunted by guilt and doubt, constantly questioning whether the relationships and achievements in her life are genuine or merely the results of her manipulations. At some point, she decides to stop using her power due to the negative consequences she faced, especially the impact on her relationship with her daughter Claire. This decision marks an attempt to live a more authentic and ethical life, though the challenges and temptations of using her powers are never far away. Besides her power, Allison is a strong and determined character, known for her intelligence and empathy. She has a protective nature and is deeply loyal to her family, even when her actions and decisions put her at odds with her siblings. Her desire to improve and be a good mother and sister makes her an essential member of the Umbrella Academy. The complexity of her ability and the moral dilemmas she faces due to it add layers to her personality, making her one of the most human and relatable characters in the series. Klaus Hargreaves, the Seance. He is the fourth child adopted by Sir Reginald Hargreaves and possesses a power that is both fascinating and unsettling: the ability to communicate with the dead. This ability goes beyond merely hearing and speaking with spirits. Klaus can see and interact with the ghosts of the deceased and also has the ability to levitate and, at times, control objects with his mind. Klaus's ability is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, he can gain valuable information and insights from the spirits he converses with, and his encounters with the afterlife often provide a unique perspective on past events and unresolved issues. On the other hand, his ability to see and talk to the dead is a constant source of distress and fear for him. The spirits frequently harass him, and Klaus is often troubled by visions and communications that keep him emotionally overwhelmed. Klaus developed a way to cope with his challenging and painful ability through the use of drugs and alcohol. These habits are, in part, a way to numb the psychological suffering that comes with the ability to see and interact with the dead. His self-destructive behavior is an attempt to escape the constant torment of the visions and presences that won't leave him in peace. While his power is impressive and has useful applications, such as the ability to obtain crucial information from spirits or comfort those who have lost loved ones, Klaus also deals with a deep sense of disconnection and loneliness. His ability places him in an isolated space where he often feels unable to fully share his experiences with others due to the supernatural and often disturbing nature of what he faces. Beyond his spiritual abilities, Klaus has a vibrant character and a charismatic personality that often serves as a defense mechanism against his inner suffering. He uses humor, charm, and a defiant attitude to protect himself from the painful realities of his life. This exuberant facade contrasts with the sadness and trauma he carries inside, creating a complex and multifaceted dynamic that makes him one of the most intriguing and realistic characters in the series. Klaus's relationship with his siblings is also marked by a mix of love and tension. He has a special bond with some of them, particularly with Vanya, with whom he shares a deep understanding of pain and the feeling of not fitting in. At the same time, his unpredictable nature and self-destructive habits often put him at odds with his siblings, who struggle to cope with his choices and behaviors. Vanya Hargreaves, the horror. The sixth child, adopted by Sir Reginald Hargreaves, possesses a unique power that sets him apart from the other family members. Ben has the ability to unleash monstrous tentacles from another dimension from his body, a power that is both formidable and unsettling. Ben's power is visually impressive and potentially devastating. When he activates his ability, enormous supernatural-looking tentacles emerge from his body, capable of crushing, tearing, and attacking with overwhelming force. These tentacles are extremely strong and versatile, allowing him to effectively confront opponents and manipulate objects from a distance. However, the true extent of his power goes beyond mere brute strength. He can also use the tentacles to perform complex tasks and protect himself and others in dangerous situations. Despite his impressive power, Ben's life is marked by a series of challenges and tragedies. In the comics and the series, he dies young, and his death profoundly impacts the dynamics of the Umbrella Academy. After his death, Ben remains as a ghost, existing in the afterlife and haunting his siblings, particularly Klaus. As a spirit, Ben struggles to find purpose and deal with his own condition of being deceased, adding a layer of sadness and complexity to his story. Even in his spiritual form, Ben continues to play a crucial role in his siblings' lives. He offers advice and support to Klaus, who is one of the few able to interact with him due to his own power of communicating with the dead. Ben often acts as a voice of reason and an emotional support for Klaus, although his own pain and regret for the life he didn't live keep him trapped in a state of unrest. Ben's relationship with his living siblings is complicated. He was close to his siblings during life, but his premature death and his presence as a spirit create a sense of loss and regret among them. The family dynamic is marked by a mix of love, guilt, and the feeling that much was left unsaid and unresolved. Luther Hargreaves, Spaceboy. From a young age, Luther demonstrated exceptional abilities, but his power is primarily characterized by superhuman strength and physical endurance. Luther gained his abilities due to an experiment by his adoptive father, Sir Reginald, who subjected him to a series of genetic and surgical modifications. His body was altered to resemble that of a giant ape, granting him extraordinary brute strength and resilience that surpasses that of ordinary humans. This strength allows him to perform impressive feats, such as lifting heavy objects and smashing structures with ease. Additionally, his resistance to physical damage is remarkable, making him practically indestructible in combat. Despite his impressive physical abilities, Luther's life is marked by a deep sense of inadequacy and loneliness. His role as leader of the Umbrella Academy was often burdensome and solitary, and he frequently bore the weight of his adoptive father's expectations. The physical transformation he underwent left him with a monstrous appearance in the eyes of many, fueling a sense of alienation and discontent. He always strove to prove his worth and fulfill the role of leader, but he often found himself struggling against the feeling of not living up to Sir Reginald's expectations or his own. Luther's transformation and unique abilities also affected his relationships with his siblings. While his strength made him a brave defender and reliable ally in battles, his protective and sometimes authoritarian behavior created tension within the team. He constantly tried to balance the need to protect his siblings with the need to be seen as an effective and worthy leader.
See you in the next video. Take care, heroes.